Hi, everybody. Jason Freedman here, episode number 4 of the Wolf Den Real Estate Podcast. Today, we're actually going to do something a little bit different. So instead of me having the usual guests on the show, I'm actually going to be speaking live with past clients of mine. And actually, one of them is actually a current client of mine going through the real estate process. So I think it's super important for all of you to understand from the very people that I've helped over the years explain what the process is like. Not just working with me as a real estate agent, but just what it's like to go through the process as a buyer, as a seller, as both a buyer and a seller at the same time. So I think that is super important to give all of you that perspective. So whether you're in the game yet or not in the game yet, this will give you a nice indication of what to expect and what it's like to work with me. So the first call is actually a longtime buddy of mine, Matt. Him and his beautiful family bought a house in Pipersville a couple of years back and just want to kind of get the experience that he had working with me. And we're going to chat for a few minutes about the real estate process. So let's get Matt on the phone and we'll have a little bit of fun.
Hello,
Mr. Matt.
Mr. Jason.
You hear me clear, right?
Loud and clear, buddy.
All right, you're loud and clear.
Are we live?
All right. So I just kind of gave the little intro to the viewers about what we're doing today, and kind of mentioned that you're one of my early on clients, longtime friend, and mentioned that you and your family bought a beautiful new construction home in Pipersville. So why don't we just go into your experience working with me and kind of explain your journey?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. You were obviously an instrumental component of us getting our home built. But even prior to that, you had been showing us houses for 5 years, I think.
I think it's not even a lie. I think it was very sporadic, but this was a multi-year process.
Yes, it certainly was. The thing that you made really easy for us, probably to the detriment of your weekends a lot of times, was you were really flexible working around my wife and I's kind of chaotic schedule to show us homes. And a lot of times, I'm sure you get this a lot from, prospective buyers, but just the scheduling, and the whim of like seeing a new home that we really thought would be a good fit for us, calling you immediately contacting the listing agent and getting us in, sometimes at, weird hours or within 30 minutes of me calling you confirm the appointment for later on the same day. And, I think what was really valuable for us was we ruled out, and we were really close with a couple of the homes that we saw, but we realized a lot of what we didn't want, and the things that we eventually had as non-negotiables, which is why we built. And you really helped us kind of sort through the stuff we knew we didn't want. And it ultimately led us to building a new construction, which was, you were a huge part of.
No, and that's honestly part of the process. I think I work with a lot of buyers, and even a couple that are going to be hopping on with me today for the podcast. A lot of buyers, they kind of dive into the market and they have no idea what they want. They obviously know they want to buy a home. They know, kind of more or less what their price range is, what their financing is going to look like, and, what areas they want to be in. So a lot of that is already kind of predetermined, but you really don't know until you start jumping into some houses. And you and your family, maybe in the back of your mind, you were kind of like, hey, it'd be great to have new construction, kind of start from scratch, first one to live there, brand new, no money being put into it. Yeah, but you also wanted to see some older homes, maybe some of the older, charming Bucks County farmhouses or whatever, with a lot of acreage, things like that. And then I think you just, throughout the process, you kind of figured out your path and you went forward, and new construction was the route that we took. So
yeah, it was really helpful for us, man. And that's the one thing I would encourage anyone who's going through this process right now, whether it's a new construction build or moving to Bucks County or Jersey or PA, anywhere. It may take you, months, if not years, and dozens, if not, several dozen homes to go see, to figure out ultimately, like for us, I'm sure you got frustrated with us a lot of times where it's like, this checks all your boxes.
Never frustrated. It's your journey. I'm just along for the ride.
I mean, I know you mean that genuinely, because truly we were an example of that, where you helped us determine through the process of elimination almost of what it is that we truly really were looking for. And when the moment struck and we were actually ready and we found that, piece of land that we could ultimately build on, you were at the ready. You helped us go through the entire buyer's process, all the paperwork, all the back and forth, the pre-approved, like all the stuff that we had to do.
Yeah.
The good news was we had done so much already of that when we found our spot, you just kind of activated and helped us go through the entire process through close. But
yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate the 5 years of your time that we went through to get to that point. If
you're watching this, I highly recommend you don't take 5 years. But if you do, I'm only 43 years old, so I feel like I have at least 5 years left in me. So if you are going to be like Matt and his family, I got you. But I highly recommend maybe we check out 5 to 10 houses all in Bucks County between Newtown and New Hope and just get it done.
There you go. That would would have been a good strategy.
I've got your back regardless. So, but no, I appreciate you hopping on, and I still have to come by and check out the house. I mean, I want to see what you guys did to the place with all your personal touches, and yeah, I know you're loving it. You and your family kind of having your own little slice of Bucks County, which is what it's all about. And my greatest joy in what I do for a living is kind of getting to that closing table and getting the keys into the buyer's hands and kind of letting it go from there. So, I definitely appreciate your business and appreciate your trust, and look forward to many years of happiness for you guys.
Thank you, buddy. If I could give you 10 stars on a 5-star scale, I would.
I'll talk to Zillow. It's only 5 stars for now, but I'll see if they can up it to 10. So I'll chat with Zillow corporate about that. But I truly appreciate it.
Honestly,
awesome.
It was an amazing experience. You made it fun for my wife and I, and truly, we can't thank you enough. Not only for the actual process, but all the stuff that wouldn't show up in a closing agreement. All the homes that you showed us, all the time that you spent showing us houses. Spending your time on a Sunday afternoon on our whim, going to look at something, or sending us listings. Outside of kind of what we thought we wanted. So
yeah, absolutely.
We can't say thank you enough for helping us through the process.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. We'll do it again in 30 years.
Sounds good.
When I'm old and gray. So now we'll get it done.
Yes.
So I appreciate it again, and we'll chat soon.
Sounds good. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. So that was Matt. Been friends for it feels like 30 years. So I have all sorts of clients. I have people that I've been friends with for 30 years. I have people in my family, and I also have the Zillow connections, which you're going to hear from next, where I get connected randomly through my advertising, never met them before, and we just hop along for the ride. But again, Matt and his family bought a beautiful new construction home in Pipersville. As you heard Matt say, kind of spent a few years going through the process trying to figure things out, and sometimes that's what it takes. So we're going to call Ryan next. Him and his wife bought a beautiful home right in Yardley borough. So we're going to hope they pick up this phone call right away, and we'll chat with Ryan about his experience. So hold on one second, guys.
Hey, Jason, can you hear me?
Ryan, you're on air.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
How are you doing?
You're not on video. We'll keep this nice and easy. So,
that sounds good.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm actually. So we have my buddy has a studio up in New Hope. So that's kind of where the home base is. So I'm literally sitting on the leather couch with the lights on me and the camera staring me in the face with the microphone in front of me, and just gonna chat with you about your experience working with me. So kind of.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, kind of teed you up that you and your wife bought a home right in Yardley borough. So maybe just kind of chat real quick about how you guys came to meet me and kind of what your whole process was.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Jason. Appreciate you having me on. So my wife and I, we've lived in New York City now for 8 years. Just spent the last 6 years in the Greenpoint area of Brooklyn.
Yep.
And we were deciding where to end up, right? We're going to look to have kids in the near future. We decided having kids in the city wasn't for us.
Yep.
I grew up in the Bucks County area. I'm from Doylestown, but my wife is from Connecticut.
Yep.
So there's a very large range of where should we buy a house. We started looking in the North Jersey area. I've been trying to sell my wife on the Bucks County area for probably a decade now.
Yep.
I think it's a great area.
You put in work. You put in work doing that.
I did, and I think she really is in love with it now, which is great.
Yep.
We looked in North Jersey. We looked in Central Jersey. Didn't spend too much time looking in Connecticut, but we spent some afternoons in the Bucks County area, especially closer to the Delaware River, where I grew up, and we're able to find something we love. I think the process is interesting. When you're buying a house where you do not live in the general area of where you're buying, it makes your life a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours to go see a house.
It is. And Jason, it probably makes your life in your position a lot more difficult. And I think what we're thankful for, getting connected with you via Zillow, and started in June, maybe a little bit beforehand. And then we found the house, we closed in Labor Day weekend. So I think the big thing was looking at houses when you don't live in the area. It's a lot of weekend searching. Sometimes it's a Friday night after work. Sometimes it's a Monday morning before work really gets going, and fighting New York City and Philly traffic to get to that house.
I lived in New
can
York
be a nightmare.
Twice. I know exactly what you guys were dealing with, and also you had the place down in Sea Isle, right? So I think you came back from the shore at least a couple of different times to go look at houses, right?
We came back from the shore. We probably did every Sunday. We were probably in pretty bad shape. Coming back from the shore.
Walk out of the Ocean Drive and go look at some houses.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's difficult to say itself. I think the record we hit ourselves 7 spots with you on a Sunday.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
It was after a big party in Avalon the night before, so we were dragging. I think a couple houses we walked into, we immediately said, absolutely not, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
But you stuck with us, and I give you a lot of credit for keeping up with us, especially pulling some offers. And we were really all over the place with what kind of house we wanted to live in.
Yep.
Right? I know you and I talked about this, but I think a lot of us go into looking for a forever home. We were getting crushed by cash offers.
Yeah, the whole cash waiving inspections, all that kind of stuff.
A lot of it was our friends' parents too.
Yeah.
Like our friends' parents
it might
are
have been
downsizing, selling their $2 million houses.
Do you know that for sure? Like, did that actually happen? Do you think where like somebody you knew actually got that?
We didn't lose not a house. We didn't know anyone that beat us on these offers.
Yeah.
I did have some friends whose parents were talking about that they were also looking in the same areas, and we just thought to ourselves that we got to hurry up and get a house before more friends' parents are doing the same thing.
It's tough.
So
man.
I think the decision, honestly, to find a starter home was the right decision for us.
Yeah,
something we're really excited for. I'm in sales personally, so I was joking that as someone who gets paid a percentage of commission off this, it's got to be heartbreaking when you're running the numbers in your own head, and then your buyers decide to go for a turn.
It's all
that's got to be a tough.
Listen, Matt, I think for any of the agents that might be watching the podcast that I'm doing, the second people like us start counting our commission and doing all that, and obviously, listen, we all need money to survive. I have my own mortgage.
Absolutely.
I have my own life, but the second we start putting, like, oh well, if they buy a house for $1 million, here's my commission. If they buy a house for 500, like the second we start doing that is the death of our career. So that is honestly, whether you bought a house for $1 million or 500, like that, it wouldn't change how thrilled I am for both of you. And I think the spot you bought, right in Yardley Borough, walking distance to everything. Most importantly, the Wawa, I believe. I mean that is that is something that I think is great. And you know what? That's the kind of spot where down the line you could probably sell it for way more than you bought it for. Or it could be a good rental spot down the line, and you go off and buy your forever home when you have a couple of kids, and you kind of do the whole white picket fence thing with an acre of land. That could be in your future. But no, the two of you were great, and you guys treated me with nothing but respect. And that I can tell you that there are some people that I've come across in my career where they're respectful, but they just it's almost like they put a little bit too much pressure on my schedule, where I feel like I can't also live my life. And as much as I grind and as much as I'm there for my clients, like I also have to keep my sanity. And you guys were always very, very conscious of that, and I appreciate that. And listen, we lost some offers for it to no fault of you guys. We're slinging around some pretty strong offers, and it just didn't work out. And we found there was some environmental issues that we were dealing with. So we've been through everything, and you guys are it was your first time home buyers, right, for both of you?
First time,
yeah. So it's no, you guys were great through the process. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and you guys handled it like champs, and made my job easier. You were very attentive, and through the mortgage process with my good buddy Mark and his team at Movement Mortgage. I mean, the title company in my office, it all just worked out. It all flowed together, which is great. But now listen, man, I really appreciate you hopping on, and I won't take up any more of your time. And
Jason, just to grab you, something that I really appreciate working with you, and my wife Katie says the same thing. It's like 3 things, right? You were returning every text call we made, no matter what time of day it was. We try to be respectful of it, but let's be honest, not every time it was within your 9 to 5 business hours, but you're on top of it. 2, being flexible with us, right? Like I said, we're coming down a lot on Sundays. We're early in the mornings at inconvenient times. Like we tried to give you a heads up as to when we'd be in the area, so we give you some help with the schedule, but it wasn't always the case. So appreciate that. And 3, you're clearly very, very connected in the Bucks County area, for example, and I assume most of the area. But being able to not only, when we got the go ahead, you could introduce us to Mark, you could introduce us to the inspection team, and a whole list of resources that were local to the area. So as first-time home buyers who were coming from an area that wasn't where we were buying a home, it was really good and helpful to have someone who is as connected as you in the area.
No, I'm great. It all worked out the way it was supposed to work out, and that everyone's journey is different, and I think you guys landed on something great. So I'm thrilled for both of you, and look forward to keeping in touch and doing a little bar hopping in Yardley at some point, and giving our reason to get out of the house and have some fun by getting some fun people moving into the area. And that's what it's all about. It's not just Bucks County, but it's, in my mind, this is the greatest county in the country. Obviously, I'm biased, but Bucks County, it's where it's at, whether you're coming from New York or Virginia, California, wherever. and I'm excited to have you guys here. So can't thank you enough again.
Everyone's moving to Bucks County for a reason.
Yep,
there's plenty of good reasons to do it. So
exactly,
Jason, look, man, I appreciate it. Good luck with everything. Call me if you need anything.
Awesome.
And thanks for having me on.
Sounds good, Ryan. Tell Katie I said hi.
I will. Thanks, Jason.
Right, thanks, man. Talk to you soon. All right, so that was Ryan. Him and his wife Katie again bought an awesome house right in Yardley Borough. And again, they're, as you heard Ryan say, that journey, their price range was all over the place. They didn't know what type of home they necessarily wanted to buy. Got crushed on a couple of homes where the offers just went crazy. And if you're a buyer out there watching this, or even another agent watching this, we all know the feeling of that. We write the perfect offer that isn't so perfect after all. So they stayed the course. They got it done. Again, Ryan's from here. Katie is not. They've been living in Brooklyn for a long time, and now they're here in Bucks County, which is what it's all about. Next, I'm going to try and get Deborah on the phone. Deborah and her son bought a house in Bristol. They were looking in Jersey for a long time and connected with me after other agents just, I guess, couldn't get it done for whatever reason, but I was able to get this thing done for them, and we'll see if we can get Deborah on the phone. Hold on one sec.
Hello.
Hey, it's Jason. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Jason. How are you?
You can hear me. You hear me good?
I can hear you very well. Yes.
All right. Well, lucky for you, you don't have to be in front of the camera like I am right now. You're just over the phone. So, so I'm sitting here in my podcast studio in New Hope. So I got the lights in my face, the camera staring me down with the mic in front of me, and I've got you on the phone now. So just
okay.
Yeah, I kind of teed it up a little bit that you and your son bought a home in Bristol, and kind of had a journey of searching in Jersey for a while, and I guess had another agent or two that was trying to help you out, and for whatever reason didn't work out, and then we connected. So I mean, maybe just kind of take a couple minutes and just kind of explain your experience with me.
Okay, so my experience with you, as you know, we connected first over the phone about a house that was on Route 33,
Yep.
but it was already taken. And then I kind of got involved with another agency, and I won't say any name.
No, we'll keep that out of it.
The two gentlemen, I think they were kind of new though to the real estate business, and actually so was I, because even this is like the first home that I ever purchased.
Yeah, sure.
But I know that you and I, were talking to each other, via text during that time. And we saw a house with the other realtor. We put in an offer. The offer was accepted. They didn't tell us a lot of things that you had made us aware of, the 3-day rule in New Jersey.
Yeah, the attorney review.
And different. Yeah, the attorney review. So they gave us some bad advice.
Yep.
They gave us bad advice. And then, we lost the house, which was actually a blessing in disguise, because
Sure.
the house that we purchased through you was a much better home.
Everything works out.
Everything works out. The next time we saw houses with the other gentleman, he went to open the door and left us outside, and we were like, well, what are we supposed to be doing?
It's like, yeah, he's like, take it from here. Yeah. No guidance.
He was inside, touring the house, and we were still standing outside, kind of not knowing which door to go into.
Not great practice.
So exactly. So I said to my son, what, I can't do this. Let's, we'll look through some houses. And we went to see a home that I know I had called you about, and it was way down in southern Jersey, almost where we live now.
Yep.
And we happened to do a drive-by and ran into the owner and went in. And, we did put in the offer. You started all the paperwork, which was great. But then we decided that the Tesla system that they had was just a little bit too much every month.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. So the one day, we were with you, and we saw all these homes one day, and nothing was good. And then we went back again in Pennsylvania, and you were so patient with, more so me, because my son was like, oh, I want to buy every house I see. But I was like, no.
You're allowed to be picky. It's okay.
Yeah, we're not doing that. And then I had sent him this house where we are now. And he said, and I told him, I said, James, you're not going to find everything you want. He wanted a finished basement, 2-car garage, an in-ground pool. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then this house just miraculously came on the market. And I said to you, I think it was a Friday night maybe, And Saturday we went, Friday night, I remember it perfect. I said, we have to see this house tomorrow with all of the other houses that we're going to see. And you were so patient because every house I walked into, I hated. I couldn't see myself living there. Like the amount of work.
And that's okay because you don't listen. We have very good photographers. Shout out to Mike Sprando, who's my photographer. But listen, they're very good at making things look great. But you get to the house sometimes, and it's like, okay, well, how much filtering did they use? I mean, the wide angle lenses, which I'm probably sitting in front of right now. But it's just something where you don't know until you get in the door. And sometimes there are houses where I open the door for you and you're like, no. And that is 100% fine.
Yeah. Jason, there were a couple. Yep. There were a couple where I went through them because he wanted to look at them. I would have been like, nah. Even when we pulled up, I was like, nah. There was some in some neighborhood. Yeah. There was some in some, I would look around outside in the neighborhood. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing. Okay. This I am not doing. But, the house that we're in now, I can never thank you enough. Really. I will always be, whatever it is that you did, my son was like, I have to have this house. I have to have this house. I remember he ran back to the car. I don't care how much money I have to give you. I'll give you all my money. I have to have this house.
Yeah, I remember James like, he was all over it. So I'm so.
Yeah. I have to have this house. And I don't know what it is that you did. And the woman said, you said, I love this house. We do love the house.
Yeah.
So far, everything is good. Yeah, everything is fabulous. It's coming along. We're putting it together. He got all of his grills.
Yeah, perfect.
He got his gas grill so far. He got a smoker. He has a black stove. Everything for the back.
We're ready for the pool parties in April, right?
He's ready for the pool parties. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's ready for the pool parties. The basement's a man cave. And
he's got his boxing lair down there. He's got all that set up.
Not yet. That's going in the garage. That's going in the garage. That's next. Yeah. So it's good. It's good. We love it. The house we love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. The experience with you was fabulous. The only drawback I had was my lender.
Yeah.
And the one that was handling.
Yeah.
And that was it. Otherwise, you were always there. Every question I had, you answered me, and I would text you 1,000 times, but you were always,
That's part of the job.
Always
any realtor out there watching this, I mean, it's just like, listen, we all have our personal lives, and we all need to take a step back, and we can't be there every time. But I pride myself on, unless I'm at a wedding, or unless maybe I'm with another client, and I don't want to be rude to them. Like, I have my phone in my pocket or sitting in front of me at all times, and there's really, outside of very few circumstances, there's really no excuse why people like me can't be there for our clients. And I know we connected randomly through my advertising, and I'm so thankful that it happened. And a lot of my clients, some of them have been friends of mine for a long time, or family, and others I don't meet until I show them a house, which is what, with you and James, and it worked out beautifully. And I can't thank you enough for trusting me to get it done and sticking with me through the process, and for hopping on my podcast with me. So I appreciate it.
Okay. You are most welcome.
Yeah, no, and we'll definitely keep in touch. I look forward to the spring pool parties.
And the pool parties. Yeah. You're invited to everyone. I will not.
Awesome.
Okay. I have to get back to work, Jason.
No, you're good, Deborah. No, that's all I need. I really appreciate it. And we'll chat soon.
Okay. And we appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Keep up the good work. Okay. Be number one.
I'm going to try.
I'm keeping track of you. I'm keeping track of you on Instagram.
It's a little bit of pressure, but I like it.
Right. Okay.
Thanks, Deborah.
All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right. Bye. All right. So again, that was Deborah and her son, James. Again, we connected super randomly through, I shouldn't say randomly, it's through my advertising. But again, that's another example of somebody who didn't know me. I didn't know them. They just kind of connected us based on the rotation with those of us that have the advertising, and you just got to stick with these people. I mean, they don't always know what they want. They sometimes will, like what happened with Deborah and James. You open a door to a house, and I swear there's been at least a couple times where I open that door, she walks in, walks right out. I don't care if I drove 45 minutes to go show that house. It's important for me to help her cross that house off of her list. One less thing to confuse her with. It's one less thing to get in the way of the process, and it worked out. They bought the best of the bunch, and I'm so thankful for that. So I'm going to try and get Holly on the line. Holly and her husband Peter actually moved down from Manhattan, and I helped them buy in Bucks County. Just another example of how great this county is and how many people it's attracting from, again, not just New York or North Jersey or wherever, but all over the country, California, Florida, Virginia. It doesn't matter where. I think this county is so attractive, and this is yet another person that I helped achieve that dream. So let me try and get Holly on the line.
Hello.
Hello, friend.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
You hear me loud and clear?
I can.
All
Can
right.
you hear me loud and clear?
I got you. Yeah. And the good thing for you is I'm the only one on camera. You can just sit back and relax.
That's wonderful. Relaxing is what I love to do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm sitting here with the bright camera lights and the camera and the podcast microphone. And yeah.
We know the atmosphere that you're in. We follow you.
I know you
once
do.
In a while, we do dial it. We do. Yep, we dial into your podcast. So congratulations on all your success.
I love it. I'm still getting those articles that Peter sends me every now and then. So Peter's making sure he's keeping me on my toes regarding my Bucks County real estate knowledge. So I appreciate that.
Well, someone has to.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, if I'm not challenged, I mean, how am I really supposed to get better at what I do unless people are challenging me? So, but no, I kind of gave a little bit of an intro before I called you that, you guys were you're in Manhattan, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So we did. So we were looking to move from Manhattan to Bucks County in 2020 because Peter had family in the area. Yeah. And we came across a rental listing in Yardley with you as the listing agent. And because it was 2020, a lot of people were kind of fleeing big cities. And so even though it was a rental unit, it had multiple offers.
Sure.
And so, but you made sure that our bid was strong and we were chosen to rent the unit. So that's kind of where the relationship began.
Yep. So I forgot that we actually went back 5 years. I mean, it's just like the journey, you just never know where this journey is going to take you. And I remember you got a rental first, but just to think back that it was 5 years ago it's wild to even like fathom that.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep. And then, so you were in the rental you were in the same spot for what, four years, I guess. I mean, something like that, right?
Right. So we were in the same spot for almost 5 years.
Yep.
So in early 2025, Peter and I decided to look around to purchase a home. And when we began looking, we really talked about it and all roads led back to you. We remember how professional and how wonderful you were the first time around. And so as soon as we started looking at properties in the area, Jason, we specifically remember that no matter the day or the that we wanted to go look at properties, you were 100% accommodating throughout our search and met us anywhere at any time. Mm-hmm. And after exploring our options and reflecting on where we both were in life, we decided to make an offer on the property in the same development where we had been renting, because it's a big decision and you shouldn't really rush into it. You did provide advice here and there, but you were very respectful to make sure it was our decision.
Sure.
And I think that's important in the buying and also selling process, right? So, you did your job very well, and you didn't steer us into any direction that we were questioning. It was strictly our decision, and you were very respectful of the process.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, number one, as real estate agents, there actually is a term called steering, and there's another term called blockbusting. I mean, these are terms where as agents, it's all about the client. It's not about my schedule. It's not about, it's not my money. It's not my price range. It's not where I'm going to live. It's where you and Peter are going to live. So and listen, did it work out beautifully where it's in the same neighborhood as you could just walk from your rental to go see the house that you now live in that you purchased. So does it always work out that way? Absolutely not. I mean, that was kind of a unicorn, but it just, it worked out beautifully. And I'm so thankful that it did, because I know we were talking about it over the years, and we kept in touch sporadically. And, it's very easy for people to maybe, even for a realtor that does a good job, if we don't keep in touch enough, if we're not, sending out at least some sort of like lifeline saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm still a realtor. It's very easy for people like you guys that I helped so many years ago just to forget about us and just to go back on Zillow without even thinking and just connecting with another agent. But you guys, I mean, it means the world that you stuck with me. So I truly really appreciate that.
Well, and we're happy we did, because we also remember after you put in an offer, as you know, and as your clients should know, that's when the real fun begins, right? There's a ton of paperwork and closing documents that need to happen. There's inspections, there's ongoing things that need to be done, but RE/MAX made it pretty seamless, mostly because you do use the most up-to-date technology. So the signing process was pretty quick and pretty neat. That's one of the positives that stick out for me with the whole process, because a lot of people are not at their desktops or even their laptops every day. They're on their phone.
Sure.
So we would be out in the middle of dinner and you would send me something and I could easily open it, review it, and sign it. And again, it was quick and seamless, and we really appreciated that aspect of the process.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And obviously you ended up using one of my close friends, Mark, with Movement Mortgage for the mortgage stuff. And you use Mark, right?
Yes, we did use Mark.
And that's another thing where, I have all these resources, and I never want a buyer to feel like they have to use my contacts or, my home inspector, my title company. That's never a requirement. But I'm so thankful that process went smooth as well. And, Mark and his team did that, and our title company at Properties Abstract handled all that. So it's not just me, there's a team of people that I trust, and, Matt on the home inspection stuff. I mean, it all needs to function. Each piece has to function properly to get you to the closing table. So I'm very happy that that's what happened, and hopefully you guys are loving it. And I know 100% that we are not going to fall out of touch, because Peter is always going to be there to email me articles, keep me on my toes, and hopefully I can actually come to one of your events one of these days and not have to flake out because I'm too busy with real estate. So
no, well,
that would be the goal.
Again, every time we log in and follow you, Jason, you're just killing it. We're so happy for you, and you're the type of person too that you really want to be friends with after the buying process is over.
I'd like to think so. I appreciate it.
It's a small town, right? Yeah. We see each other around town, and we enjoy your company. And also, finally, I can tell your listeners that we rarely come across, and I personally have worked with a lot of people, are so excited and passionate about what they do. And you, from the start, were just so passionate about RE/MAX and so passionate about what you do. And we can tell you really like your job.
Sure.
And again, that's very, very important to show your clients that you like what you do. And so that was also a huge attraction with the whole renting and house buying process.
Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate you saying that. And again, it means the world to me that you guys stuck with me through everything. And I will hopefully see you at the restaurants and bars in the coming future.
We absolutely will, Jason. Take care. Have a great Thanksgiving to you and your family.
You too,
I
Holly.
hope you get some downtime.
I'll do my best. Make sure you tell Peter I said hi.
I absolutely will. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Holly. You too.
Thanks for having me on.
You got it. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right. So that was Holly. So again, her and her husband, Peter, were living in Manhattan for quite a while for work purposes. And, Peter had some family down here. And again, they rented, and then that rental turned into a purchase, 5 years after the fact. So that is such a key thing where if I didn't keep in touch with them, they may have still reached out to me, because I did right by them the first time around, but you have to keep in touch. You have to let people know that you're not just a transactional person, you're a relationship person. And I think that, again, that process, it just came full circle, and I'm so happy for them. And I'm going to try and get Mary on the phone. Mary and Kevin, I actually sold their home in Plumstead Township in Doylestown, and they bought another beautiful home in Fountainville in Bucks County. So I'm going to try and get Mary on the phone. Mary will explain what the selling and the buying process was simultaneously. So let's wait for Mary and have a nice conversation.
Hello, Jason.
The call came through. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
So your new phone,
great.
Your new phone didn't block me like you thought it was.
Yeah, it's just a little wonky, and I never know when and why.
That's no worries. But yeah, no, I just kind of gave. Obviously, the good thing for you is that you don't have to be on camera like I do. So we're just gonna have a conversation over the phone, and I kind of gave everybody a breakdown that I helped you sell the home in Doylestown. You bought in Fountainville, and just kind of dive into maybe what it was like working with me.
Be asking me questions. Yes.
Well, I'll kind of guide you a little bit. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's great. And then the other thing I want to ask you is, do you want me to focus more on for me, you are our overall person, but for us both, I think it was, though I'll be the one speaking, it's really having met you and the way you took over, the way you conduct business.
Yeah. I think.
And do you want me to focus on buying or selling?
You can do maybe start with the selling. Maybe we'll spend a couple minutes on each. Only like 5 or 6 minutes. But maybe just start with the.
Because that came. Yeah, that kind of came after our buying. But I'll start with selling.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, just kind of what the process was with me, listing the house, and kind of the way I kind of guided you and Kevin through that process.
Okay, cool, ready.
Yeah. You're on. You're live.
Oh.
And honestly, the reason I didn't stop you is because honestly, I believe I'm on. I think it's YouTube Live right now. I think they set up the live, or maybe they didn't. Either way, the reason I didn't stop you to say, "Hey, we're live," is because this is very organic, and I think, and I kind of like the fact you were actually asking me how I was going to handle it. And honestly, I don't have anything prepared. It's more like it's just Jason and Mary talking about our experience together in real estate.
And I love it.
And that's it.
Okay.
However you want to do it, it's fine by me.
That's perfect. So, Jason, let me tell you how I see it. When we came up here, well, I should say, when we met you, we didn't have a realtor. We didn't have, a friend in the family, or we didn't have somebody that we were working with, and we didn't know really what we were doing. In terms of, are we going to try and find another house? What are we going to do? And so we took the luck of the draw, and I said, I want to see this house. They're going to connect us with a realtor, and you showed up at the door.
Complete randomness.
Complete randomness.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, it was great. From the moment we met you, you never looked at us like, you never looked at us like who are these people and what are they doing?
Yeah.
And you treated us from the beginning as though you knew us.
Yep.
Like you were calm and easy and not pushy, and you let us guide certain things, but you were involved in everything, which I love. And when it came to selling our house, by the time we actually found a house and then we're going to sell our house, we didn't have any question. You were going to be the person to sell our house because you had been involved with everything. You left no stone unturned. You answered all the questions. We had looked at houses. We've looked at houses in the past where we'd ask questions and either answers never came because somebody just wasn't going to answer them, and they were too busy, and neither of us ever felt that way with you, which was a wonderful thing to have. Yeah, sure. It's not an easy thing. It's difficult, and it's when you're buying or selling a home, it's not a small thing. It's a lot of money that you're just haphazardly like looking at a house one time and saying, okay, I'll spend $1 gazillion on this house.
It's one of the biggest investments in your life, if not the biggest.
Life.
So,
Yet I always, and more importantly, you always had our back, which we both really appreciate. You were easy to work with. It was like meeting a friend every time we saw you.
Awesome. Yeah.
But it was a friend with knowledge, a friend who wasn't going to let us get into trouble, who wasn't going to let us not ask the right questions, which we very much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is definitely huge. I mean, for me to to be there for you guys like that is, I can't, there's no other way for me to work. There's no other way for me to do my job but to do it exactly the way that it was done. So, I'm very, very prideful on that. For me, even if I don't have the answer, I mean, I have to go figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, I'll go find someone that can figure it out. And I think it's, for you and Kevin to not have answers on something when you're dealing with, such a big investment and such a, a big decision in your life, actually 2 decisions, selling your beautiful home and going to buy another beautiful home. Those are two decisions that ran simultaneously. So
that's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And I think that was my, it was an honor that you guys, stuck with me on both ends of it. And I'm so glad it worked out because it's not easy to sell a home and buy a home at the same time. And I know, we didn't have the contingency necessarily in the offer for the new place, but it just, I guess we kind of did have we did have the contingency, right?
We just had inspections.
That was it. Yeah, I remember that we didn't have like the full like home sale contingency, but I think, so that made it a little bit easier, but obviously the goal was to still, kind of get things paired up the best we can and, settle on a new home, give you time to get out of the old home and get the new buyers in. Like it was a process. And I mean, it's also important that, people like you and Kevin, you also made my job easy because you were very accommodating and very appreciative of my time, and you treated me with nothing but respect, which was awesome. So I can't thank you enough for that.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the way it always should be.
Yeah.
But the other side of that, we always felt that you were going to find the answers, and if you couldn't find the answers, you would let us know, hey, I'm still looking for that answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never left us in the lurch. Like you were always there for us. Like we felt confident along the whole way, which also made us feel confident about the people you deal with.
Sure.
And that you would get the right answers.
Yeah, like the title company and all. It's not just me involved. There's other people involved. So they all have to work to get you to the closing table.
Right.
So
all that very well. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We bought many houses in our lives, at our age.
Yeah. Well, you're very young, so I'm surprised you've bought so many houses in your life.
All right, you said now and then, but that's okay.
No, it was great, and I've had clients that I've been friends with for a long time, and family, and again, and then obviously I have clients like you guys where it just comes through my advertising, and that's how we get connected, and kind of like you were mentioning earlier, like it's like one of my goals is to make somebody, real estate's very stressful. I don't care if you're selling a home that is going to sell quick, and your home did sell quick. It was one of the diamonds in the rough, a beautiful home in Bucks County that didn't take very long, but at the same time, I need people that I work with to also, look at me as a friend or look at me as somebody that they can talk to about anything. Yeah. And they're relaxed. So that I think is something where, you could have a lot of agents out there who are, extremely good at what they do, paperwork, negotiating, all the things that go into being a real estate agent. But I think it's my personality. And this is what my buddy told me when I got into this business. He's like, you can talk to a brick wall. You'd be a great realtor. I had to learn all the other nuances about how to do the business. But I think my personality just, I try to be even keel. I try to be very calm, and that, deflects onto the clients and also keeps them calm, and it keeps them from getting overly excited or overly down. Like they stay right in the middle.
Oh, absolutely. And you're calm, but you're taking note of everything we're asking, or everything we're looking for, or what you see us looking for.
Yep.
When we walk through a house. So your calmness is almost a little deceptive.
Yeah. Well, I gotta leave a little bit of a mystery. I gotta leave a little bit of deception in my job. They gotta keep it fun and keep you guys on your toes. You go home at night saying, I don't know if Jason is he really calm, or is he just putting on a show, or what's going on inside that guy's brain. But at the end of the day, I always know that I have everyone's best interest in mind. And again, I can't thank you and Kevin enough for allowing me to handle both sides of the transaction and getting things done. And yeah. So, and now we just,
there was no question.
No, it's great. And I still have to get up there and check out the house. And I think you're still holding my lockbox hostage, I believe too, right?
Yes.
So I've got plenty of lockboxes, but hey, I'll get up there and get my lockbox, and I'll check out what you guys have done to the place so far. I'm sure there's still more to go. And, but we're going to keep in touch for sure. So it means the world.
Do love the house. We love the house. We really
Awesome.
do. Yep.
Very cool.
It's been great.
Fantastic. I love it. All right. Well, listen, thanks for having my first technical difficulty, and I'm going to put my team to work here. But I'm honestly kind of glad this happened, because it shows that I'm multifaceted, and it shows that I don't buckle under pressure even when I'm live on air.
Exactly. Now, I've done this kind of thing before, so I could help you if you need a little training. And
it's up. I appreciate that. So no, but I won't take up any more of your time, and we'll definitely keep in touch and tell Kevin I missed him on the call.
All right. That sounds great, Jason. You're great.
All right. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate that.
Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right. So that was Mary and Kevin. So they obviously, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, which again is totally fine. It happens. So they were actually living, I believe, in North Carolina in a beautiful house right on a lake, lakefront property. And they moved up here to be closer to their friends and I think more so family, grandkids, sons and daughters and all that. So that it was a family sort of move, and they actually bought a beautiful home in a stunning neighborhood in Doylestown. Lived in it for 2 years, and Mary decided she wanted more of a grand entrance, like that cathedral ceiling sort of look, a bigger kitchen than her already huge kitchen. And there were a couple things that just made them want to move, and they traded one beautiful home for another beautiful home, and they're ecstatic. So yeah, that was their story, and I really appreciate them hopping on. I think we'll try and do one more call after we figure this out. Gentlemen, you're going to stay on the phone while I give you a little bit of intro, because I usually give an intro before the phone call. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro. You ready for it? All right. So I've got a buddy of mine. I think he's a friend of mine. How long have I known you? Like 30 years?
You talking to me?
Oh yeah, now I'm talking to you. I thought you were podcast trained.
Okay. This is all, I'm trying to put my leash on my dog and take him out.
No, I need your full attention. All right, whatever. So
let's go. Let's start over.
All right, so I've got Brian on the phone. Brian, his wife, and his 2 children are actually currently going through the process right now of looking to buy a home in Bucks County and sell their home in New Jersey in Mercer County. Everyone else I've had on the podcast so far has already completed a sale of a home or a buy of a home. You're the only one I'm having on this podcast that is literally still going through the process. And what's it been, like 3 years?
Yeah.
How much more of my time do you
3
plan
years.
Using up?
3 years, a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts, a lot of visits to Upper Makefield and Washington's Crossing with Jason.
Yeah, and
it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no, well, I mean, it also helps that we've been friends for what, like 30 years, something like that. We go way back, the good old Council Rock days, and obviously I've known Christina, your wife, for oh man, I mean, I guess I met her in 2001 or 2, so.
2002.
Going back to the University of Delaware Blue Hen days, which is where you guys obviously met. So yeah, we go way back.
Correct.
And I feel like both of your kids now look at me as Uncle Jay, I would imagine at this point. So,
They do like going to see houses when you're showing it to them.
Yeah, and jump on couches and kick soccer balls through the ceilings of basements and things like that.
Probably why we haven't been able to find it. Ring cats all over the place.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, yeah, because you guys are really only looking, I mean, you're like, the good thing is you already live in a really nice home. You don't have to move. Like you guys just want to move, probably for New Jersey tax reasons and just coming back to the motherland of Bucks County, which I always encourage people to do. So you're in a fortunate situation where like you and Christina you don't have to just jump on something. Like you're literally looking in like 5 different neighborhoods in all of Bucks County, and that's about it. So obviously it's slim pickings, but yeah, I mean, so what made you guys want to, like, did you just want to start the process because she didn't have to be in New York as much? Is that kind of where it all started?
Well, the COVID situation really kind of expedited the process. We're like, all right, you're home now. We don't know when it's going to end. We don't know when you're going to go back to working and commuting in New York City. So let's start it now. But that's also the time when the whole market kind of went haywire and prices shot up. People were having the same thoughts of who lived in New York, saying, hey, let's get out of New York because we don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And then, Bucks County is a very nice place to live. They knew that and came down with New York money and were able to, buy houses sight unseen, forego inspection, forego appraisal, forego
everything.
all that stuff. And they would go, cash offers way over list price. And we got kind of caught with our pants down and they're like, all right, this is the new reality of the market and the game we're playing now. So Jason has been very, very patient with us and very helpful. And I couldn't thank him enough for sticking around and helping us out throughout this process.
Yeah. I mean,
and I know that he's always there. If we have a call or a text, even, in the wee hours of the morning, he'll be there and be responsive pretty quickly. So
and honestly, it can't get any better. Our text chain is literally called House Hunters now. So I mean, it doesn't get much more serious than that. And I'm ready for another 3 years. I'm sure you guys want to wrap this up ASAP. But
dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get all the Zillow and the Redfin tabs closed on my computer that have been up for 3 years. I want to get rid of them.
Hey, yeah, it'll happen. I mean, we're not going to call out addresses or names of people or neighbor. Like, there's one that, according to you, and listen, I'm usually the one that I like to think of myself as the one that's the provider of all the information, but you're also pretty good at saying, hey, a little birdie told me a listing's about to hit the market. So yeah, you guys also have your feelers out there, and hopefully, the one that you mentioned, that, hopefully that happens. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, no, listen, like one house that each of you can agree on to go see. I mean, once every 2 or 3 months, something might pop up, but I mean, you guys don't have to settle for anything. I mean, I have people that unfortunately have to settle for whatever reason is going on in their life, but you guys, even though you want to be done with it, you can be patient. So, but
yes, that's true. That is the silver lining of it. Although we are coming to the end, because another big driver is the school system. So obviously, Council Rock is a wonderful school in a wonderful area, and it would be definitely an upgrade for my children to change into that school district. So
definitely,
before they get too old, we need to make this happen.
Yeah, I hear you.
But thankfully, they are young. They are young enough, but it's getting to be the tipping point.
Yeah, no, I got you, and it also helps that you and Christina agree on everything, right? So it's easy.
Oh yeah, marriage. We agree on everything.
It'll all work out. I'm confident. It also helps when you're also friends with the people, so you have fun with it. But I mean, it's no, I know.
Agreed.
Obviously, you guys know that I'm there for as long as it takes, but I know you guys also want this whole thing to be over with. But yeah, listen, it'll happen. But so I'm not gonna. Yeah, good.
I was just gonna say, I know we got a good guy in our corner and very patient, and definitely appreciate all the guidance and wisdom he's provided along the way.
Yep.
So thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
No, it's my pleasure. We're going to get it done. And just a matter of time. And I appreciate you hopping on the Wolf Den podcast. So you should feel extremely...
Oh, the Wolf Den. I like it.
Yeah, the Wolf Den. Yeah, there's definitely no other podcast out there called the Wolf Den. So it's definitely mine.
Is that true?
Absolutely not. But we're going to roll with it. I mean, it's the Wolf Den real estate podcast. You throw the real estate podcast on the end of it, and that makes... I'll put my stamp on it. But listen, as long as Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, doesn't catch wind of my stardom, I think I'll be okay. But I think if Jordan Belfort's watching this podcast, I think if he has an issue with it, then I guess I've made it where he feels threatened by me. But I think Jordan's got his own thing going. I've got my own thing going, and I think we can both appreciate that. So, but no, listen,
Jay, that's a problem for 2030. You don't have to worry about that yet.
All right, dude, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I'm starving, but I appreciate it, and I look forward to you sending me houses once every 6 months.
Sounds good, man.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Go Birds.
Happy Thanksgiving. Go Birds.
Yeah.
Later, dude. All right. So as you can probably tell, there's a little bit of joking around going on there. So Brian and I have been friends for, probably literally 30 years, played baseball together, went through the Council Rock school system. And again, they're nothing against New Jersey. Listen, I'm licensed in New Jersey. So if somebody wants to live in New Jersey, I've got it. But again, the taxes over there, and the fact that Brian is from Holland, he wants to move back to Bucks County. His wife, Christina, doesn't have to be in Manhattan as much anymore. I think all the roads point to Bucks County. Lower taxes, beautiful countryside, awesome homes, school system that they want for their 2 daughters. I mean, there's so many things that just make that such a perfect fit. So that's the last phone call. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you again for joining me and watching the Wolf Den Real Estate Podcast, episode number 4. Can't believe how time is flying, but really appreciate all of you and look forward to getting more of you on these phone calls here and chatting about our experience together. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.